just go from there.
Yeah, so we titled this basically like growing through your season. Um, all of us have different stories. So obviously each of us have our own story in this business. That's kind of what makes it unique when you share your story. But I did want Kara to share hers because she's been through a lot and she's pushed through a lot of things over the last couple of years. So I feel like it'd be really good for her to share. So I'll let you go ahead and get right on in there.
Alrighty. So I'm gonna keep looking down because I took notes. But I started this industry in January of 2018. My daughter was about 11 months old at the time. I started because obviously I wanted more for my family. I wanted to be home with my kids, go on vacations, get out of debt, the whole 9 yards. So the first two companies I was with just didn't work out. So April of 2019 is when I found Lavelle, and I jumped right in. And during that time of joining, I was literally going through a crazy battle with my son's father in court. So, because I was trying to move in, so October of 18, I decided I'm moving to Florida. But in the state of Massachusetts, if the parents aren't together, you gotta get permission from the courts to take your child out of state. So I was in the process of that. So that was going on. And between court, the boys having baseball, I was working full time, running the Lavelle business. I literally felt burnt out, but I stayed the course. I did what I had to do. I showed up, but my mindset was kind of all over the place. And then June of 2019, I got permission from the courts to move to Florida. So I didn't take any time. Literally July of 2019, I was in Florida. So I thought it was going to be the best thing ever for my family. Just moving, starting over. So we moved to Florida, and that's when I pretty much from July to October of 19, I was a stay-at-home mom in Florida. I was working Lavelle full time. At that point, I was working a lot like with my weight loss and things like that. I managed to lose 40 pounds just on the products. So that was huge. And it was taking me a while to advance. Like I said, my mindset was crazy. I literally moved 1,400 miles away from what I knew was home. I up and left my mother, which literally, like, she's my best friend. I took my son from his father. It was tough, but I knew I had to keep the course if I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. So my fiance, he was commuting about 2 hours each way back and forth to work in Florida. So it was a lot. We weren't able to make ends meet. So I ended up in October of 19, I ended up getting a full-time job because I had to. We had 3 children, moved out of state. I got no help from the state. I had my dad out there, but it was very, very hard. My dad was like it was like a 30-minute commute just from, so it was very, very hard. And when I got a job, my fiance lost his job. So at that point, I was like, I didn't know what I was going to do. I thought I was going to be homeless in Florida. It was very, very, very hard. Literally devastated was an understatement. Like, I almost want to cry. So in November of 19, I completely took time off of Lavelle. I couldn't do it. My mindset was just not there. I had to focus on working, bringing in an income for my family, providing for my kids. And then December 4th, exactly, 2019, like, my world came crashing down. Me and my fiance, well, we're back together, but at the time we split up. He went back to Massachusetts. I was in Florida. So that was hard. I ended up going and living with my dad in Florida, and doing everything I could to get the money to move back to Massachusetts because I just wasn't comfortable. Now, my daughter that's her father. So having her and my son now with their fathers in Massachusetts, it was tough. So January of this year, I moved back to Massachusetts. Like I just couldn't physically, I couldn't make it on my own in Florida. There was just no way. They don't give the help that like Massachusetts gives. As far as parents, like single parents, I was paying about $800 a month just in daycare. Like I got literally no help. Rent was cheaper than daycare was. So I couldn't do it. So in January, when I came back, I moved in with my mom until I could get back on my feet. Taxes were coming around. I knew I was getting a decent amount in taxes. So while I was living with my mom, me and my fiance, we were working things out and we ended up getting back together. And then in February, I went and got my blood work done. I had like a physical and everything, and I was on the verge of a heart attack. Like I was overweight. My like cholesterol, my cardiac risk factor, like everything was just skyrocketing. I was depressed. It was bad. So Lexi, I noticed that she joined back to Lavelle and she was back with Lavelle and stuff. And I was just like, girl, I'm ready. Like, that's it. So March of 2020, I joined back in. I got back on my products because I knew I needed to do something, or I don't know what would have happened as far as my health went. And I was ready to run. And during that time, I did start a full-time job. I work at a men's recovery home. So I'm still there. And then, COVID hit and all that. I lost daycare. So my kids actually had to go into essential daycare. So I was putting my kids at risk of this virus just so I could go to work because I was technically an essential worker. And I pushed through it. And, here I am now. I really, really, I'm diving more into like my faith and my mindset and, the IPAs, different things like that. I refuse to give up as hard as it is. Like tonight, the boys had baseball. I rushed home, folded laundry, fed the kids, we bathed the kids, and here I am on this call. And I don't want my kids to see me give up on my dreams. I want them to see me push through and succeed so that it shows them that whatever they put their mind to, they can achieve it pretty much. And yeah, that's pretty much my story. And since I've been doing the IPAs and different things like that, going face to face, trying to do everything I can with lives, it's really helped my business within the past, I'd say the last month or so.
Yeah, like she stayed consistent, and like she said, like so much has happened with her, but she's not letting that affect us. Like she is aiming to change her life, and even if it is taking a longer course, she's sticking it out. So like obviously our stories are different. Her story, goodness gracious, I like some of it I knew, some of it I did know.
Yeah, you've been like pretty much there through it all, honestly.
Yeah, some of it I knew, some of it I didn't know. So it was like sitting here like on my toes, But her story, you guys, like if it doesn't like prove to you like just sticking it through, like that's insane. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and share my story. Mine's not as deep, but I do want to share my story with like network marketing and all the things. So back in November of 2018, so I've been in network marketing for 2 years. I still can't, almost 2 years. I still can't believe it's been that long. I joined It Works, and that that company, you guys, long story. But I started with them in November. It was basically like a way to kind of like dive into network marketing. I knew I wanted to work from the media because it was something I was like, I don't know, I was intrigued by. I was like, I can help people, while making an impact. And like that couple months prior, back in March, I actually moved out with my boyfriend, and like I just got a full-time job like 1 month before that. So like everything was like ends meeting. Like I literally, like my full-time job, I got a full-time job. 2 months later, I moved out. Like my home life was kind of insane, like with my family. And I just knew I needed something more. Like I was tired of, I was working a full-time job, and then I think around a little month prior, so probably around like I think around June, I picked up a second job. And that was exhausting. I'd work 9 to 5 during the week, and then I would get off, and then I'd go to my next job from like 5:30 to 9, and I would teach gymnastics. So that's something I really was passionate about. But here's the thing, it's exhausting. So I knew I needed a second income. I was like, I need a second income. Like I need something more in my life. And I came across It Works. I do say like I never ranked with them. I was very like obviously we cold messaged, and that was not something I really enjoyed doing. I did not like cold messaging people. Um, I didn't like being like a robot behind a screen because I feel like no one connected with me. I was just pushing products to people, and I was like, no, I'm done. So in what was it? November. So it must have been in April of 19. I actually joined Lavelle. So I was with Lavelle, and I did it for like 2 months, and I sucked. I'll be honest. When I first came back, like I switched companies and I still sucked. I didn't know what the heck I was doing, but I knew I wanted to make an impact, but I ran off. Like I didn't even rank. Didn't hit my VIPs, which is our bonus period in your first 2 weeks. So I ran. I was like, I'm done. Like this is it for me. And I actually joined another company, and there I love the products. I still use them on my hair. But it was also like another spinning wheel. Like I wasn't like I was passionate about what I was doing, but I wasn't able to impact as many people as I really wanted to, as much as I wanted to. But I was constantly like spending money. So like in Monet, it's called Monet, like we had to spend money to run our business. Like there was like a yearly fee that came around. Um, so it was just like spending tons of money with no profit. And so I started that in June of 19. So taxes came around. So taxes came around January of 2020. And I got my taxes, and this was the first time I ever had to file. So like this was insane. I was like, okay, I made enough money to file. I was filing, and my purchases were over what I made by a ton. My boyfriend's mom looked at me and she was like, no. And I just sat there for a second, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I like went into my bathroom, and I noticed how many products I had. And it was just like a spinning wheel. I was constantly buying product. I was constantly trying to buy product to keep my business rolling. And it didn't really hit me until taxes came, and I was like, okay, like this is it. Like I'm done. And I actually followed people from Lavelle over the years, like Alex, who's on here right now. Like I followed her, like I followed her story, and like she actually bought products from me. I really like how you're on here because I can bring that up. But she like bought products from me, and she was like someone that consistently bought product, but I wasn't winning. And I saw her post, and I was like, everyone else is posted Lavelle, and I was like, maybe it's my time. Like maybe I need to come back. Like maybe this is something that I will be passionate about. And I did. I started over. I completely started over. Like it was like coming back to Lavelle, but I was new. Like it was so weird. It was totally different this time around. Like I was able to share me. I felt so passionate about what I was like bringing in. And then it just like took off for me. But like the thing is, I've been in this industry for 2 years. Like I keep stressing this. It's been 2 years of like falling on my butt, like literally embarrassing myself. Like I look back at Facebook posts like from 2 years ago, and I sit there and I'm like, no wonder my family unfollowed me, because I literally was the most annoying girl on your feed. I was. And if you stayed around, which is insane, some of you have, Jenna, she sticked around with me. She sticked around. She's someone I went to middle school with, but she stuck around even though I was like super annoying. But like the thing is with Lavelle, like it's a different community. Like we really truly have a community. We don't cold message people. And we are, like I said, truly a community. It's been such a long ride for me. And like I always want to stress, like it took me 2 years to get where I am today. And to think if I didn't like start with It Works back in November of 2018, like to think I wouldn't be here now, like drives me nuts. And like just stick it out. Like if you are like if you feel like you're struggling or if this is something new and you're a little nervous, like just stick it through because you never know what can happen. Like I seriously, like I honestly almost dropped this industry. Like after the hair care business, I was like, I'm just done. And I like sat around my house and I was like, I don't like just sitting around my house. Like I don't want to pick up a part-time job because money still now it's still a little tight and I'm still working on it. And Lavelle has actually, it's helped me. I'm able to actually save money and I'm able to earn my products for free. Um, but that's just huge. And just to think, like I keep stressing, it took me 2 freaking years. And like everyone's story is different. So you may pop into this and you may take off, or you may pop into this and it may take you some time. But like if it takes you some time, why not keep going? Like you're going to grow so much more just sticking it through, and you're going to feel 10 times better that you stuck it through than when you give up and you look back, you're like, what if I would have quit? Like, what if I did quit? It drives me nuts. But that's my story. I think we're good. Do you need to touch on anything, Kara? Are we good?
No, I mean,
But
just be consistent and keep your why, like why you started. Because for me, it's my kids. And like I said before, my kids know why I work on my phone. They know that I want to be home with them. And if I give up now, what is that teaching them?
yeah, same.
It's teaching them that it's okay to quit, and it's not. I don't want to teach them that. So I just keep on pushing. I didn't hit my VIPs. I haven't even ranked up yet. And I'm working on the mindset. You need to have that mindset, the positive mindset, and just keep on pushing. I mean, be consistent, keep showing up. And
Yeah,
that's pretty much
pretty much it. Yeah, like you
yeah.
stick through, even if like things get hard. Trust me, like even me right now, it's hard. I have to like pick myself up sometimes, you know? Like think of your why, like go back to why you even started this. Because I'm telling you, like you're gonna look back to that why and you're gonna be like, that's why I stuck it out. But you have to remember that, right? But I think this is it. I will upload it onto my YouTube and I will send it to you guys. But I hope you guys have a great night and thank you. Bye, you guys.
Bye.